So, yes, the government's going to carry out targeted consultation as it looks to make changes to the Holiday Act in an effort to increase certainty and reduce complexity. Acknowledging some people's frustration with how the law currently works, it comes amid years of issues with people receiving less holiday pay than they were entitled to due to miscalculations in what has been complex legislation. The changes could include switching annual leave from an entitlement system to an accrual system and pro-rata sick leave. So currently all employees are entitled to the full 10 days sick leave, even if you are a part-time worker. Now, the Minister of Workplace Relations and Safety is Brooke van Velden, and she joins me now. Good afternoon, Brooke. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, Leah. How are you?
I'm good. I know you've been very busy, talking about this, and I'm glad you took time out to join me. What is the problem with the current Holidays Act?
Well, you talk to nearly any business up and down New Zealand, and they say we spend far too much time and resource attempting to comply with very technical, very complex laws about how we make sure that we're giving our staff the right entitlements for leave, for annual leave, for sick leave, for parental leave, you name it, all of the different types of leave for holidays. And so many people have got it wrong. And it's because it is such a technical piece of law that tries to go across a whole range of different working environments and arrangements. But nearly everyone is struggling to make sure they're getting it right. I think it was 2015, the Labour Inspectorate looked at around 112 large employees up and down New Zealand, and they found $200 million in error. And that's had to be paid by those companies. And that's excluding the government agencies that got it wrong too. And we know that there are huge issues with billions of dollars being owed. What I'm hoping to achieve here is to simplify the law so everyone from a multinational down to a small-run family business knows what the laws are, knows how to follow it, and that more workers will leave their employment with their right entitlements. That's got to be good for business and for workers.
Well, how did it get so technical, Brooke? Is this a mishmash of many governments? Or, how? Or is it just add-ons that has confused everybody?
Look, I'm no expert in all of the technicalities because I leave that to the legal experts and for the payroll providers who have to deal with this stuff every single day. But my understanding is, we've moved away from just having standard 40-hour, 5-day work weeks, which are really simple and easy to calculate. But then we've had flexible arrangements with people doing part-time, a range of different part-time work hours, as well as people having bonus pay on top. And you end up with multiple calculations and often having to amalgamate calculations or make assumptions based on how many hours you've done each week. It's very complex, very technical, and we've got to look at all of the nitty-gritty underneath, because I want every worker to leave every day knowing that they have been paid right, and for businesses to spend less time on admin and actually more time on doing the stuff that matters, their actual work. That means that we're going out for targeted consultation. We want to look at a range of different new areas like pro-rata for sick leave, changing the calculations behind the scenes for annual leave. And we'll be asking workers as well as business owners, legal experts and payroll providers whether or not it makes it simpler. Because if we're going to open it up, we've got to do it right and we've got to do it once.
Well, Brooke, let's circle back to that. Let's start with the pro-rata sick leave approach. So based on how many hours an employee works, depends on what sick leave they're entitled to. So a person works 2 days a week, is not going to get as many sick days as someone that is working 5 days a week. Is that correct?
Yeah, that would be right. So at the moment, everybody is entitled to 10 days sick leave. But if you're someone who works 2 days a week in one office, then has a job 2 days a week in another office, you're entitled to 20 days sick leave. Now, some people would say that's disproportionate or unfair, and other businesses I know have said that they've struggled, especially where they hire a lot of part-time workers, that they're liable for a huge number of sick days, especially where it's students or people like a pizza franchise owner, for example. they have to have so much liability on their books to pay their staff. And yes, we do want people to be able to take sick leave, but is it proportionate for somebody who might work 1 day a week to get 10 days sick leave, when somebody also works full-time, also gets 10 days sick leave? So those are the questions that we're hoping to get some technical feedback on in September to figure out how we'd go about doing that right.
I suppose, and you would have seen since your announcement yesterday, you would have seen the kickback from the fact that there are thousands and thousands of part-time workers in this country, and you could understand they might not be too happy with potentially losing out on 5 days sick leave. What would you say to them?
Well, I'd say, look, we've got to make sure that this works for workers as well as business. If you take the case of somebody who is working 1 day a week, if they have 2 days sick leave, for example, that still means that they get 2 weeks off work. The same for somebody who works 5 days every week. If they took the full 10, they'd have 2 weeks off work. So you could make the argument either way. But I would just say that these are just minimum entitlements. If someone genuinely has an issue with their family situation, or they require more leave, I would encourage people to talk with their employer, because I hear time and time again from employers, they want their good workers to stay. They want them to be healthy. They want them to be happy. And if you get good staff and have retention, that works for a really good work arrangement.